it's over, let it go. 52 times a year, the week is done and over with before you know.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello, good evening and welcome. I am David Frost and this is That Was the Week That Was. Finally, after 60 years, the third series has finally arrived. After the first two series were cruelly cancelled by the BBC and the then Tory government of Harold Macmillan. And now the first news story of the week. Monday, the Daily Star reported on a vaping squirrel that stunned a woman at a park after scurrying up a tree to puff away on a vape. Locals have since been advised to stop buying peanut butter flavoured vapes. Also on Monday, the Daily Telegraph continued its obsessive campaign with working from the office. Showed us an office plant potted 14 years ago that has grown to over 600 feet. So this in fact represents the day you had to start working from home because the potted plants have taken over the office. Burnt Out, wrote The Sun. A popular BBC cooking show with a celebrity host has been axed in the latest programming cull. Yes, poor old Gordon Ramsay is learning that failure is a meal best eaten cold, garnished with a cheese and chive dip and a pot of pear preserve. Again on Monday, the Huffington Post gave us a deep-sea octopus nursery found beneath the waves off Costa Rica. So it's over to the Duracell bunny.
Yes, we'd like to be beside the sea, in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Again in the Huffington Post, Nigel Farage said the establishment is pushing him off the UK and Twitter has thoughts. Yes, indeed, Nigel Farage did his best Kenneth Williams impersonation and went on to say, "Infamy, infamy. You've all got it in for me." Also on Monday, a woman wrote, "I got naked for 20 strangers in a pub, and then they drew me." Well, I suppose that's what you get for accidentally walking into a Wetherspoons, isn't it? Continuing with the Metro, another woman wrote, "I have anxiety and 15 vacuums. The secrets of the cleanfluencers." Whatever, she clearly hasn't learned that nature abhors a vacuum, has she? Finally, on Monday, the Mirror gave us a story about the tightwad Rishi Sunak, who has given a £10 wine to a local school after giving $3 million for a US college donation. So, once more, it's over to the diary of a wimpy Prime Minister. Yes, I picked the weakest of wines I could find. I didn't want to give them anything too strong, did I? Tuesday was brought in by the Daily Star, giving us the world's biggest cow, as tall as Michael Jordan, which left the internet baffled. Yes, definitely, that one would be difficult to steer, wouldn't it? Tuesday was a bad day for BBC Breakfast's Carol Kirkwood. She was left red-faced as she was dragged off camera by a dog at Wimbledon. TW think it's far-right libertarian Carol Kirkwood's own fault for dressing up like a dog's breakfast. Tuesday's bad news was that train strikes will go on for 20 years if they have to, a union boss warned. However, it may be 21 or 22 years depending upon weather conditions and other delays. Whilst in The Guardian, we learned about Extinction Rebellion plugging holes on 10 Spanish golf courses in a water protest. If you see the picture, you obviously can't sink a putt on this course. There isn't any water to sink in. Andy Parson was vitriolic in the iNews and said, "Forget a statue, Liz Truss doesn't even deserve a portrait." TW, however, thinks she should have a new variety of lettuce named after her. Let us not bear grudges. Our final news story of Tuesday is in the Metro News. A woman, 64 years old, punched a bear on the nose to stop it chasing her dog. Yes, Goldilocks has clearly been working out in the gym, hasn't she? On Wednesday, we read about a baguette shop owner who made £21,000 dealing Class A drugs. However, he will only have to pay back half. Yes, indeed, half a baguette is better than none, isn't it? The BBC gave us a history lesson on Wednesday. The battalion of black women erased from history. In 1945, 855 women answered the US Army's call to revive troop morale and clear a 2-year postal backlog in England. It might be useful if the Army sent them back over this Christmas. So that's both morale and the post office. What did the women do? Did they spend half the time shagging and half the time licking stamps? Poor old Gordon Ramsay isn't having much luck, is he? His BBC cooking show was axed weeks after his ITV programme got dropped. But here at TWTW, that's what we like. A bit of synchronised axing of far-right libertarians. Yes, too many cooking shows spoils the ratings, doesn't it, folks? Again, on Wednesday, the Daily Star said, Tipping Point fans say the same thing as contestants confuse the famous poet Homer with Homer Simpson. The dickheads. Yes, so that's Homer Simpson and his son Bard Simpson. In the Manchester Evening News, we learned how rescuers saved young owls trapped in Glastonbury's Pyramid Stage who had been exposed to 48 hours of loud music. All we can say is we hope they were night owls. The Mirror was tickled black on Wednesday when a teen shocked teachers by rocking up at a prom in a vampire coffin and rising from the dead. However, a child who dressed up as a mushroom was immediately excluded and condemned by the National Front Press. Wednesday concluded when a suspicious powder, which led to the White House being evacuated, was confirmed to be cocaine. So when Joe Biden snorts, it may not just be his sleep apnea. Also on Wednesday, the Express wrote, Camilla stuns in symbolic earrings and towering white stilettos for Scotland's celebration. One can imagine Charles saying, I thought it was my turn to wear the whip and stilettos, Camilla. Alternatively, Charles might have said, You don't have a whip to go with those feathers and stilettos, do you, Camilla? On Thursday, in Cornwall, a woman spotted an incredibly rare pink grasshopper in her garden. Yes, it's a Barbie grasshopper, and it's got its own little pink car. Whilst next door in Devon, Batman was spotted arriving at a Devon prom. So it's over to the Duracell bunny.
Fratman, 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 Fratman.
On Thursday, and still in Scotland, the King met a young queen on his first Scottish visit. Oh my God, Camilla's shrunk. She's been standing out in the bloody rain too long. Yes, Thursday was Charles's new day of destiny, and Scotland honoured its king, as the monarch was presented with ancient symbols of power. Yes, those ancient symbols of power, such as carrier bags full of oil cash. Also on Thursday, in the Mail, a giant stone hand axe was discovered at an Ice Age site in Kent. Experts said it was so big they don't know how people could have used the foot-long tool 300,000 years ago. This is Penny Mordaunt's big chance, and she's dying to get her Alice bands on it. The Mail was in quizzical mood this week. Where did Earth's water come from? Scientists have made a major breakthrough, and they found our planet was completely dry when it was full. Haven't they heard of Noah's Ark? So, where did Earth's water come from? Well, it wasn't Thames water, you can be sure of that. And finally on Friday, Harry's son phone hacking claim is Alice in Wonderland stuff. A court heard in The Guardian. Yes, that means that Piers Morgan is the Mad Hatter, William is the Dormouse, and the Red Queen is Kate Middleton. On Friday, we saw EasyJet marching passengers off a Lanzarote flight because the plane was too heavy. Our advice is marching won't get you off the ground. They should have told the 19 passengers to flap their arms instead. The Mail Online loves its drug dealers and showed one of the Peruvian drug mules, Michaela McCollum, graduating from university. She was awarded a 2-1 before being given the 3rd degree by the Ulster Police. Also on Friday, we heard that Stuart Broad was applying bold Bazball principles to his newfound business venture. Bazball, eh? So Broad is happy going bust, is he? Also on Friday, Wimbledon ground staff revealed the secrets behind the world's best grass courts. But as far as we hay fever sufferers are concerned, let's rewild Wimbledon. Just stop grass. On Saturday in the Times, we heard that the problem isn't Bazball. The problem is that this isn't Bazball. So, just like Brexit, they haven't delivered a Bazball yet, have they? Can Nigel Farage bowl? The Guardian quizzed us on Saturday. Why are there holes in donuts? So for this little teaser, it's over to the Duracell Bunny.
Why are there holes in donuts? To stop you getting fat, of course.
Poor old Brittany Spears is at it again. Apparently she hit herself in the face during the bodyguard incident, cops have confirmed. However, on the bright side, she has been advised not to beat herself up about it. Whilst today, the ITV News said, cluster bombs. Has America surrendered the moral high ground in Ukraine? Well, they may have surrendered the high ground, but they plan to retake it using cluster bombs. Also on Sunday, The Sun reported, upper crust, we don't want a Domino's opening in our posh town. It doesn't fit in and will ruin our stylish way of life. So that's pizza panned by crusty old residents, isn't it? The Star revealed the world's most painful plant that can cause suicidal thoughts. The world's most painful plant that can cause suicidal thoughts? That's broccoli, isn't it? For those of you who look fondly back on your childhood memories of holiday in Cornwall, Cornwall's sea and rivers are now the most polluted by sewage in the UK. So what does a Cornish holiday mean? Sun, sea and sand? No, sun, sea and sewage. So to put your mind at rest until next week, The Guardian said robots have no plans to steal jobs or rebel against humans. But if you look at those 5 robots, TW thinks they couldn't steal the skin off our baby's rice pudding, could they? Let us at them. Well, this has been David Frost on That Was the Week That Was. So goodbye, good evening, and see you next week.
That was the week that was. It's over, let it go. 52 times a year. The week is done and over with before you know.